DBS News.
Welcome back and welcome to the listeners on Acoustic Worship Radio. Acting Prime Minister Roland Roye says that the registration of the Good Hope Farmers Cooperative comes at a time of massive investments into the agriculture sector. He says that the registration of the Good Hope Farmers Cooperative is timely.
And as announced in this year's national budget, we are taking further steps to incentivize agricultural production and ensure that agriculture remains a viable and attractive enterprise, especially for young people. Key among this is a land access initiative where 300 acres of land will be made available to young farmers at a symbolic rate of $1 per year for 5 years. This is a game changer for landless and aspiring young farmers seeking to build a future in agriculture. We have also introduced agricultural insurance, a long-awaited measure to help safeguard farmers against the devastating impacts of climate change and other unforeseen events. And to further stimulate investment in critical areas, we are rolling out a rebate program designed to support poultry production as we strive to reduce our dependence on meat imports, in protected agriculture to increase year-round production and climate resilience, and the establishment of key tree crops such as citrus, cocoa, and coffee with a long-term view to boost exports and improve rural livelihoods.
Acting Prime Minister Roland Roye. The Acting Prime Minister told the Good Hope Farmers Cooperative that unity will be needed for its success.
The government support is unwavering, and the path is clear for rural communities like yours to thrive, provided you remain united, focused, and committed. Let this cooperative not just be a name on paper, but a living, breathing organization, one that empowers its members, uplifts its community, and contributes meaningfully to the national agenda of food security and economic development. As Minister for Agriculture, I pledge my full support to your continued success. Together, let us build an agriculture sector that is resilient, modern, and inclusive.
Acting Prime Minister Roland Roye. General Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell, says the procurement of 2 trucks from Europe will greatly enhance waste collection in Dominica. The lack of trucks posed challenges for the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation over the last few months.
We have 2 trucks which was promised, that is on island. Well, one of the 2 is already deployed and we are seeing some strides. We're hoping that by next week we'll see an overall improvement on the discharge of waste. All the affected communities, they will see collection equipment and that would alleviate some of the ongoing issues that we are seeing. We really want to appeal to the general public that the management of waste is an essential responsibility that should be done at the household level. Separate your organic, separate your recyclable, and only place your waste out on the day and time specified. Use a receptacle as much as possible. We have 2 trucks, but out of the 2, one has already been deployed, the other one will be deployed on Thursday. The truck will see one of the other trucks in the east on Thursday. A brand new truck takes some time. You have to manufacture it to spec, so we thought it would be prudent to get 2 used trucks to help bridge the gap, and it would help improve on the collection of waste until we'd have had the brand new ones that was promised. We have 2 compactor trucks and about 3 or 4 tipper truck that we currently use. And in October, as was promised, we'll have another 4 compactor truck, brand new, to add to the fleet. And also the Prime Minister did mention of a decentralizing system.
General Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell. Clinical psychologist Shoya Gay Grant Massicot has raised concerns about an increasing trend of generational trauma in Dominica. Shoya Gay Grant Massicot, the owner of the online private practice Be Kind to Your Mind, is opening a physical office in Madre Lubia tomorrow. Grant Massicot says one of her primary objectives is to work on eliminating generational trauma in the Dominican society.
A lot of what I'm seeing is like generational trauma, right? So it looks at things that we learn from our parents that we just pass on to our children. Different issues in terms of how we parent and different traumas that we tend to see within families, you know? So if we're looking at some specific things that I'm seeing, I am definitely, which is one of the main objectives of my business, to really work on eliminating generational trauma where we're seeing like the mother having certain issues and then the child having certain issues, and then when his or her child comes, the child also has certain issues. So like really reconstructing how we see the world so we don't carry that on. But like the typical, the sexual abuse, the emotional abuse, the fact that we don't have a lot of emotional intelligence. So that is something that is very high, both in men and women, but a lot more in men. Men's mental health is a lot more ignored than women. We're seeing the repercussions in this in terms of more men being addicted and all of those kind of things, more drinking, more smoking. It goes back down to parenting.
Clinical psychologist Shoya Gay Grant Massicot. Chief Executive Officer of the National Cooperative Credit Union, Cove Charles, says the institution's scholarship program will expand on Wednesday. 17 students will be granted scholarships for the new academic year.
And I must say this is a scholarship program that is more than just a scholarship, because it's what I call more than a financial aid. It's an investment in the future of our children. It is a recognition of their potential to achieve great things and make a meaningful impact of their lives and even the generation to come. And to me, it's a testament of our commitment to the betterment of the life of our members and their children. And as your community financial partner, we aim to be a pillar of support to all our members, helping to create opportunities for growth and development in every way that we can. And to us, education is the foundation upon which we build our future, and it is our belief that by investing in the education of our youth, we're investing in the future of our community and our country by extension. We're going to present 17 awards, and that will bring the total scholarship over 900 recipients. So it's a scholarship ceremony where we're going to recognize 17 students, 17 deserving students who are going to enter secondary school education. And we're so excited to grant this scholarship. And we're giving back to our members. That is ways that we try to give back to our members, give back to Dominica, give back to our community.
Chief Executive Officer of the National Cooperative Credit Union, Cove Charles. Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police Jeffrey James says the police will adopt a zero-tolerance approach towards looting and lawlessness in the event of a storm or hurricane impacting the island. James made this announcement during the Office of Disaster Management radio program on DBS Radio this morning.
So we are saying the lessons learned from Maria cannot repeat itself, where we had rampant looting after a storm. That will not be tolerated, and the police will put all measures in place to combat issues of looting prior and even during and after a storm or a disaster. We cannot tolerate. Maria has taught us a lesson that we should not tolerate anymore in terms of the rampant and the looting that existed. We will have operations and plan to combat that. Zero tolerance for looting and lawlessness on a whole.
Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police Jeffrey James. General Secretary of the Public Service Union, Thomas Lita, is reporting that there has been steady progress towards establishing a trade union congress in Dominica. He says a new draft proposal has been submitted to the committee for review. Lita is confident that the trade union congress will be launched next month.
Very, very much advanced with that. We have received another draft. That might be the second draft from the consultants, which who has been engaged by the International Labour Organization (ILO). So we will be having a meeting very soon, maybe sometime this week or sometime next week, with representatives from the 4 trade unions to have a look at the proposals draft that was just submitted to us. After we present to the consultants, we hope that it will be the final draft. So we are going to be doing some work looking at another draft, which we hope after our recommendation will be the final one after that, and then a date will be set up for the launching of the Trade Union Congress. But there are still little things which has not been finalized. For example, representation, how many delegates that will be. Although locally we are deciding on it. Those changes, the finances, or you finance the organization and those things and so on, we have not submitted yet to the consultant because we were pretty much engaged with the conference which you just mentioned of, and the week before the DAT was engaged with the summer courses. But all this being behind us, we are hoping and we are confident that sometime in September we will see the launching of the Trade Union Congress.
General Secretary of the Public Service Union, Thomas Lita. Dominica's youth have been told that they are shaping the country's present and laying the platform for growth and development. Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Senator Oscar George, made the statement as Dominica observes International Day of the Youth today.
It is because of this vital role you play and the promise you hold for tomorrow that our nation is committed to investing so heavily in creating opportunities for you. The 2025-2026 national budget is not just about numbers on paper. It is a blueprint for opportunity. It places millions of dollars directly into programs that equip you with skills, connect you to jobs, and continue to open pathways in agriculture, in tourism, technology, sports, culture, and entrepreneurship. My friends, youth empowerment is not just about activities. It's about your rightful place in every sphere of national life.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Senator Oscar George. Senator George says the youth are involved in the programs and activities which promote Dominica's image.
You are athletes representing us on the regional and international stage. You are artists telling the Dominican story through music, theater, and dance. You are entrepreneurs solving problems with fresh ideas. You are volunteers keeping our communities together. You are farmers and fishers feeding our nation. You are innovators in the classroom and labs ready to lead in the digital age. This government's investment in scholarship programs, youth skills training, digital skills, and job creation are designed so that when opportunity knocks, you are ready to answer. The budget calls for expanding CVQ and NVQ certifications, building a digital fabrication lab at the Dominica State College, and financing studies in engineering, aviation, renewable energy, and environmental science. But all of this training, funding, and facilities in the world will mean little without your commitment to excellence, to integrity, and to service.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Senator Oscar George. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
In news from the region, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has told supporters of the ruling Unity Labour Party to prepare for the general elections widely expected this year ahead of the February 2026 constitutional deadline. Gonsalves, who over the last weekend was selected as the party's candidate to contest the North Central Windward constituency, said, and I quote, "The elections which are before us, I want you to listen carefully, because in a twinkle of an eye the election trump shall sound," end quote. Gonsalves added that there's an election trumpet that will sound, and the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will accord him the right and the responsibility and the authority to advise the Governor General when Parliament must be dissolved and elections are to be called. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump will hold virtual talks with Ukraine President Zelensky on Wednesday. The call will come 2 days before Trump meets Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday for what the White House says will be one-on-one talks. The White House describes the Putin meeting as a listening exercise for Trump. Zelensky says the Alaska summit is a personal victory for Putin. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
5 deliveries remaining in the over. Could be run out with a direct hit. It is a direct hit. And that's the end of the game. A series victory, historic one, I think. Confirmation. That's the end of the game. The first ODI series victory for the West Indies in 34 years against this opposition. A magnificent and historic win by 202 runs.
West Indies ODI captain Shea Hope continued to show his dominance in ODI cricket, and Jayden Seales had a career day with the ball as the West Indies beat Pakistan in the third ODI to secure their first series win over Pakistan in the Caribbean since 1988. Hope cracked his 18th ODI century to lead the West Indies with the bat. Pakistan won the toss and elected to bowl first. The Windies lost frequent wickets and scored slowly until Hope and Justin Greaves launched a counter-attack. Hope hit 120 not out as he and Justin Greaves shared a 109-run partnership of 50 balls. The West Indies made 294 for 6 after the slow start. Justin Greaves added 43, Evan Lewis 37 and Ruston Chase 36. Abra Ahmed took 2 for 34, Naseem Shah 2 for 72. Chasing 295, Pakistan ran into early problems from Jayden Seales. He quickly reduced them to 23 for 4. Pakistan never recovered and were bowled out for 92 runs. Jayden Seales took 6 for 18, Gudakesh Moti 2 for 37, The West Indies won by 202 runs. West Indies captain Shea Hope was named man of the match.
I'm extremely proud. I spoke to the guys right after the victory there. We tend to stress on the negatives quite a lot, especially in the Caribbean, but we forget, those great things that we do as a team. We've been creating history for the last couple of seasons. We've been defending home court very nicely. I don't think we lost a series for the last 2 years in the ODI format. So many things that we can shout about, especially as West Indian fans and the team from within. So it's great to see the guys pulling this one off and creating that history that we always speak about.
Before I let you go, you obviously saved the best for last. What about Jaden Sears? What a spell of bowling that was.
He's a quality bowler. I just love to see him go about his work. His preparation, I'm more excited about his preparation than the way he goes about his in-game sometimes. But he's a class act, always hits his areas, can move the ball both ways, and anything you ask him to do, he's put his hand up and gives it all for the team. So I'm very happy to see him progressing like that. He's bowling much better now in the white ball format. We know what he can do in the test arena as well, so love to see him going well.
West Indies captain Shea Hope. The West Indies won the 3-match series 2-1. Jaden Seals was named the man of the series for his 10 wickets in the series.
Yeah, we had the team plans from before, and it's just to stick to it and execute it to the best of our ability.
These last 8-9 months, there's been a massive uptick in your bowling form in ODI cricket. What do you say it is down to?
Well, the analyst and the bowling coach, they kind of showed me the length that works in 50-over cricket, and I practiced to get it better, and now I'm reaping the reward for it. I think it's natural now for me, especially in ODI cricket, now that I've learned the length to bowl and to hold my length for as long as possible. So it's just to keep working on it and hopefully keep improving. It takes a lot of time, there's a lot of training. The bowling coach insists that we do a lot of bowling in the down times, in the camps. He keeps our loads high, but it's paying off for us.
Man of the series, Jaden Seals. National swimmer Jasmine Schofield missed out on a spot in the finals of the women's 100-meter freestyle event at the Pan Am Junior Games as Dominica kicked off their campaign in that competition on Tuesday in Paraguay. Schofield secured a fifth place finish in her heat, swimming a time of 1 minute 4.5 seconds. The time was just a bit off her personal best and a national record of 1 minute 3.43 seconds. Schofield says she was not too happy with the performance.
A little bit disappointed just because I thought that I could do better, but it's also expected just because it's been a really long season. We just came back from Worlds. There was a lot of traveling and whatnot, and personally I feel like I gave it my all in the water. However, you can't always expect a personal best every time because, that's the fastest you've ever gone before. And, I've been changing a lot of things this season, and when things change, it won't always be a personal best until you're at, the top of your game again. So, luckily, this is the end of the season, so we'll be winding down. We got one more race tomorrow, and then after that, it's going to just be a lot of working on technique. We're going to go back home, train short course for a little while, and then we'll see where we're at again in a couple of months.
National swimmer Jasmine Schofield. National swim coach Shamini Walsh-Dupie says Schofield's performance was impacted by her recent travels.
Well, any coach and any swimmer would prefer to stay as close to their personal best as possible. And Jasmine she fell short by 2 seconds of her personal best. But I think taking all things into consideration and just coming off of this intense event in Singapore, the World Championships, also having only 1 day in between, returning from Singapore to the US and then traveling to Paraguay, switching time zones, I know that she did put in a lot of effort in terms of training and preparing for this event. And although she fell short, I think that she did put a good effort in. So I think we're just going to analyze the race. We're going to look at it together and just see what changes can be made and just ask Jasmine to give it her best shot.
national swim coach Shamini Walsh-Dupie. Schofield will hit the pool again on Wednesday when she swims in the women's 50-meter freestyle event. That race gets underway at 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. Today is the second day of competition in the World Domino Championships in Antigua. We now head to the telephone lines to join Delvin Esprit, who is a member of the Dominica team, for an update. Good evening, Delvin.
Well, good evening to you, Lena, and good evening to the rest of DBS and the entire nation. Well, really, I can tell you that a very tough day today in terms of the World Championship, but Dominica doing pretty well. As a matter of fact, last night, Dominica defeated Guyana by 78 points to 38. And this morning, early this morning, and so Dominica defeating St. Lucia in a very tough encounter this morning. Dominica were down by 15, and the Southern then came back to beat St. Lucia by 67 points to 61 in a tough match. And tonight, Dominica will be coming up against the United States of America tonight in the foreign category leader.
Our thanks to Delvin Esprit for that report. Gian Benjamin came 4 runs short of a century as the Point Ridge Thunder Kings picked up a massive win over Sinico Red Force in recent matches in the Kalinago Premier League. League coordinator Alexander Burton has the story.
Sent in to bat, Thunder Kings scored 213 for 1. Gian Benjamin 96 not out. Kazimi Benjamin 79. The only wicket was taken by Dylan John, 1 for 45 in 4 overs. Needing 214 for victory, Red Force were bowled out for 88 runs. Dylan John got 16 and Yaking John Baptist 13. Bowling for Thunder Kings, Erwin Burton took 5 wickets for 16 runs and Simon Harrison for 4 wickets for 13 runs. Afaton Telemark supported by taking 1 wicket. So the final scores, Thunder Kings 213 for 1, Sineku Red Force 88. So Thunder Kings winning by 125 runs.
League coordinator Alexander Burton. Meantime, Neo Davis hit an unbeaten half-century as the dynamic Stars got the better of Central Centipede.
Winning the toss and batting, Central Centipede were bowled out for 127 in 16.1 overs. Jimmy Valmont scored 39 runs and Nashan Bellot contributed 20. Bowling for Atkinson and Thistle Dynamic Stars, Tyrone Theophil took 3 wickets for 20 runs, Antonio Duran 3 wickets for 25 runs, while Brian Barry, Joel Duran, Mervyn Fontaine and Vivian Titt took 1 wicket each. Needing 128 runs for victory, Dynamic Stars reached their target in 13 overs, 130 for 3. Neo Davis, 78 not out, and Tyrone Theophil, 17. Willard Bruni Jr. took 2 wickets for 15 runs. So Atkinson and Thistle Dynamic Stars winning by 7 wickets. Central Centipede 127, Dynamic Stars 130 for 3.
League coordinator Alexander Burton. Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom says it is too early to decide whether the decision to appoint Darren Sammy as all-format coach has been a failure or a success. Sammy took up the position of all-format coach in April. His stint started off with a 3-0 defeat in the Test series against Australia. Bascom says the Windies coach is going to need some time.
We felt that Darren had been able to articulate a clear plan, and we saw him do that in the white ball format, both T20 and ODI. And we pretty much wanted the same sort of approach because we saw some success once we had gotten that done, and we wanted the same sort of approach towards Test cricket. He is still only 1 series into his tenure as all-format coach, and while the 27 is the highlight, might be the highlight of that, or low light of that first series, we have to admit that we saw some substantial improvement in terms of our bowling unit. We saw even a Brandon King, who is one of those players who some persons might have pigeonholed as a white ball player. We saw that he was able to show that, he was up for the challenge of Test cricket, at least in that one inning. But I think that was, some light there. So as Darren goes on, and as we start to put some of the strategic initiatives in place to help the team to prepare and help the players to grow their potential, we expect that performances will be better.
Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom. While Braves hit an unbeaten century as South Africa put an end to Australia's 9-match winning streak in T20 cricket, drawing level in their 3-match T20 series on Tuesday. Braves hit an unbeaten 125 from just 56 balls as South Africa posted 218 for 7 in their 20 overs batting first. Tristan Stubbs got 31. Glenn Maxwell picked up 2 for 44. Australia in reply were bowled out for 165. Team David got 50. Corbin Boss took 3 for 20 and Quina Mafaka 3 for 57 for South Africa. South Africa won by 53 runs. South Africa captain Adam Makram says it was a good bounce following the defeat in the first match.
To take it to the third game, of course. I think you always worry after going 1-0 down that the third game might be for nothing, so better display from us tonight. Obviously great to get the win and take it now to Cairns for the third game.
What about that 125 from Dewell? That's quite amazing. I've not seen too much power hitting like that in T20 cricket, but that was up there.
It was up there. The boys just find themselves laughing on the side. He hits lots of balls in the nets, he works really hard, but he hits it miles, and quite a freakish display tonight. Hell of a chuffed for him that it came off, and for quite a few people in the world to see what he's about.
It's only his 9th game in T20 International. Can you believe that?
No, it's scary. He's actually played a lot of T20s around the world, but he'll keep getting better and better. He's still young, but hell of a ball striker.
South African captain Adam Makram. That's how we end, or the third and final T20 is carded for Saturday. That's how we end the DBS Evening Sports Report and news on behalf of the News and Sports Departments and our link person, DJ Halo Boy. I am Leila Langford saying good evening.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 12th day of August 2025. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. we announce the death of Althea Stevens, age 69, of Marigot. She died on Monday, the 7th of July at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. She was the mother of Jonah Charles, Corolithea Charles, and Mary Charles. She will also be remembered by her grandchildren, Cassandra Charles, Jordan Charles, Keyshawn Lawrence, Keyshawn Prince, Dylan Prince, Jadel Prince, Risa Charles, and Dequan Charles. Her sisters, Silma Robinson, Nelda Joseph, Gracelyn Alfred, and Lynn Stevens. Her brothers, Walsum Stevens, Robertson Stevens, Henry Stevens, Samuel Stevens, and Jonathan Stevens. Sister-in-law, Minette Stevens.